Hi, it's Sabine, the Purpose Lawyer. I help create businesses, protect properties, and plan legacies so you can be safe while you pursue your purpose. Today, we're talking about trademark infringement. I got some tea for you, okay? So, I was looking at some cases, some articles that actually came out regarding trademark, and one of them was about Ice Cube suing Robinhood for use of his likeness. And so it was a little bit unusual that they had a trademark claim within that case. But what I really thought was interesting is how they went in on Robinhood. Like they went straight NWA goes to Harvard. It was not playing. They really, really ripped into Robinhood. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what the complaint was saying. So they were saying that, first of all, they were like, I'm telling everything that you've been doing. And a lot of it was so funny because it had nothing to do with the claim against that Ice Cube was making. But anyways, it was like Robinhood is an unscrupulous and predatory organization. So basically, they ain't got no morals. And what they claim to do is be for the people, is to be for the, common everyday person, but they really not. And so they're like, Robinhood done got sued over 100 times, 100 lawsuits. They just had to settle $65 million with the SEC. Like, when somebody is arguing with you and they bringing up all this old stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what you're talking about, this is exactly what they were doing. They were like, nope, I'm telling. Y'all always do this. Everybody knows that y'all ain't got no morals, that you guys are the worst. And so that's what they were doing in this claim. They were saying Robinhood has been investigated several times by the SEC, and their app was down 90 different times. Like, what does the app being down have to do with this? But I found it so funny. One part that I did not think was that funny, but it was interesting that there was somebody who was a Robinhood user and who actually committed suicide. Somebody who was 20 years old. Robinhood told them that they had to pay $730,000 in taxes for for investments, and it was actually false. And the person tried to contact them. There was no number that they could call, and then eventually committed suicide, which I thought was really sad. But seriously, Ice Cube's lawyers was like, no, we're bringing out all the dirt. This is a complete drag. And that they did, right? So they brought that up, and there was like, we say that to say that they think they're above the law. This is what they do. They're always, stepping on people's rights. They're always just being reckless. And they brought all of this up in this claim. Mind you, we're talking about trademark infringement between Ice Cube and Robinhood. And so then they go into Ice Cube. They're like, oh my God, Ice Cube, he's like a pillar in the Black community. He started with NWA, and he did producing, and because he did a contract with Black America in 2020, he's like one of the most prominent Black voices in the Black community. Like, they were going in, right? And so they talk about Ice Cube and how meticulously he is with choosing who he wants to actually connect his brand to, which is true, right? Which is true. He's been around for a long time, so his brand is very important to him. And so they really went into all of that. So right now they're painting a picture. So if I'm the judge, I'm already like, yeah, like Robinhood played themselves. They're doing the most right now. Like, no, this is not okay, right? So they're painting this picture to show how bad Robinhood is versus, how good Ice Cube is. And they even go in to say how Robinhood had done different celebrity endorsements. So they had Jay-Z, they had Nas, they had these other celebrity endorsements. So for them now trying to use Ice Cube without his permission, it kind of looks like, Ice Cube was down for this. And so that's what they're saying. They're like, they knew what they were doing. They've done other celebrity endorsements. They know what goes into doing a celebrity endorsement. They just tried it this time, right? So what did they actually do? So they used Ice Cube's image, they used his name, and they also used his slogan, "Today was a good day." And they even go into that, like, they said, when Mr. Cube used his line, "Today was a good day," that means that he's serious and he means business. So they said all of that. So in any event, they use that. And so they use that in connection with their brand. And so what Ice Cube lawyers is saying is like, so now this is hurting his brand. They're a terrible brand. They actually said that they are the antithesis of what Ice Cube would tie his name to. It means they're the complete opposite. They are the worst. They're a terrible brand, I think is what they said. And so because of the fact that their terrible brand is now being tied to his brand, it's bringing his brand down. And that's what they're saying. They're saying you're infringing on our trademark because you're weakening the strength of my mark, and they may be weakening his opportunities to use his mark with other brands. So they're right. They're right in what they're saying, because first of all, you can't use people's brands without permission. You need a license, you need rights, you need contracts, you need agreements to be able to use people's likeness. So if sometimes companies, organizations will use it and it'll benefit both sides. And if you can make the money right, it may be okay. But usually, and by law, you're not supposed to do that. It is a violation of their rights. And now if you're damaging them, now you're talking about paying out serious money. And not only that, if you're doing it on purpose, which is the picture that they're painting here, you're talking about triple damages, right? You're talking about extra damages that you would have to pay because you're purposefully using this person's brand and damaging it. And those are the allegations that they made. So they said that, one, you're confusing the source of the goods. Are these advertising, is this endorsement coming from Ice Cube? So you're confusing that. You're weakening his brand. And you're also confusing the public as to whether or not he's actually involved in this. And so the takeaways from this is, one, definitely don't use other people's images, celebrities. And today it's like confusing as to who's actually a celebrity, because we have so many influencers out there that have significant amounts of followings and have that celebrity status. So you don't want to think like it's just somebody like Ice Cube or like a Jay-Z or whatever the case is. If somebody has a brand, or even if somebody doesn't have a brand, right, you're really not supposed to use anybody's likeness. Everybody has that right under federal law to their own likeness. So you really can't use anybody's likeness, but particularly a famous person who can be damaged by being associated with your brand, especially if they have other contracts with other brands that are conflicting with yours. So the takeaway is definitely don't do that. Make sure you have the right contracts, right agreements in place if you're going to do that. And when you have a trademark, you have to protect that, which I kind of talked about before. You have to be proactive in protecting your trademark, protecting your brand, because of the fact that if you just lie, silent, one, it could be damaging to you, but two, it could be like, well, you never said anything about this infringement on your brand. So then that also weakens your ability to enforce your own asset that you own. So there's responsibilities with owning assets. And so I just wanted to bring that to light. And the biggest takeaway, do not mess with Ice Cube's lawyers. They came to slay. They're not playing. It reminded me of the Beyonce formation where they was like, what happened at the New Orleans? We came to slay. I'm not playing with you. So that's what I was thinking about when I was reading it in my head. Anyways, thank you for listening. I hope this was informative on trademarks and brand protection, and I will see you next time.